Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Unexpected Wonder here coming to you with my second analysis video. I did an analysis on another quite famous, well-loved character, Monkey D. Luffy. Um, this series of analyses, I'm coming to you with characters that had kind of great impact on my own life, who I greatly related to as a kid, growing up, and through my teen years, or whatever, how it may be. This time, it's one of the most loved, one of the favorite, one of the most memorable characters in fiction history. That's right, it's Wolverine, James Howlett, Logan as he's often called. With Wolverine, now Wolverine actually kind of came late, quite late in the comic book game. I mean, he was showcased, I believe, a few times during the 70s, but he never really got his real, as we know him, shine, I believe until the 80s. I cannot remember when in the 80s, but I know it was sometime in the 80s, as the common X-Man thing. Now, the beauty about Wolverine is, he's one of the most highly adaptable characters that have ever been created. And I gotta give Marvel a lot of credit for that one. With Wolverine, he's been in so many different series. And even though, like I say, he's not definitely one of the most original of the X-Men, just the X-Men, not to mention Marvel itself, he's probably one of the top 5 on pretty much everybody's list of characters that they enjoy in Marvel, and if not top 5, at least top 20. At least top 20. You know, from his abilities to a whole slew of just what he goes through. And like I say, this will be a kind of a quick, serious take on him. Now, number one, why do I relate to the character Wolverine? He became one of my favorites. I mean, I'd seen him, growing up the 90s animated series or whatever. But he became one of my favorites probably about preteens, early adolescence. Because, there was the whole beast within concept. There was the whole learning to control one's anger. There was, you were far more capable of than what is expected of you. And people was like, oh, but Wolverine has all these. But look at the characters he goes up against. He goes up toe to toe with Sabretooth. He goes up toe to toe with freaking Juggernaut, Thing, the Hulk, you name it, all the heavy hitters. He's pretty much a small kind of guy. He's a scrapper. Now, and that's the beauty about him. He's a scrapper. He can take on any challenge. He describes himself as the best at what he does. I like these things about him. He's a man's man. You feel me? He's very manly. He's a freak in a lot of ways, and that's another relatable thing. He was different. He was very different. He looks different. I mean, his most of the time his hairstyle, his whole thing is very unorthodox. Very unorthodox. He's not a pretty boy kind of thing. He's a tough character. He's got to deal with, he often is portrayed as, the storyline is he's trying to regain his memory. He has to deal with the sins of his past. He's got people after him. He's being persecuted in a lot of ways. But he's also, he's one of those things with the X-Men. He can bridge the gap. He's both freakish, but he's both normal. Unlike, for example, Nightcrawler, who's just, unfortunately, just a freak beast. You get it. So there's all that. Second reason why I love Wolverine so much, he just, how do I say this? He's so, like I said, he's so highly adaptable. He's so expendable. Like, his character can be used in any setting. Like, he can be used with, he can team up with about everybody, or he can go solo. You see, he's not dependent, but he's not completely independent. He's quite tough, but he's not invincible. So he's a lot of he's a very much an anti-hero. He is borderline on a lot of things. He's often borderline insane, or he can be highly intelligent. Sometimes he's portrayed as one of the most intelligent of the X-Men, and sometimes he's portrayed as an average Joe. It just depends on what the setting, what it needs, what the mission needs. He gets things done. He's very loyal. I respect that highly. What other things can I say that people just don't already know about freaking Wolverine? He's a very tough character to analyze because it depends on which adaptation you're taking it from. If you take, for example, the Japanese version of Wolverine, he's even more highly intelligent. You know, his love for his woman, you know, that kind of thing. He's got a tough exterior, but he's got a kind heart. That's one of the things I really take away from him. Like I said, I just make this quick because, I mean, Wolverine, he's like Monkey D. Luffy. He's a man of action. There is complexity there at times, but most of the time he just shows it in his words and his actions, and that's it. There's no twisting, there's no confusion, and that's what really makes him a great character. That's what makes a lot of these guys a great characters. They are men of action, and there you go. So this is, like I said, this is my quick analysis of the character Wolverine, and there will be more to come. Hope y'all enjoyed. Give me y'all thoughts on Wolverine. What do y'all like about him? What I didn't mention. Because honestly, it's been a while since I've actually seen him, really seen him in a series, so I'm probably forgetting a few things. Alright, y'all, have a beautiful day.